mix up the broth. So you say you've had naengmyeon before, but you really have not had naengmyeon until you've had Jinju Naengmyeon. And this is the best place for Jinju Naengmyeon in Seoul that I know of yet, and you've got to try this out. Take a look at that. Look at the size of it, it's huge. And to give you an example of what Jinju Naengmyeon is, the most important thing to note is that it's got Yookjeon in here. And Yookjeon is basically like a fried beef pancake. It's just, you know, seasoned beef, dipped in egg and fried, but it's so good. And to have that mixed in here with this naengmyeon, which is kind of a mix of bibimbap naengmyeon and mul naengmyeon, the marriage of all of these flavors is so absolutely delicious. This here is yeolmu kimchi. Now, yeolmu kimchi has got a different flavor from your typical kimchi. Very, very good. It's got a very fresh flavor to it. Naengmyeon is not naengmyeon unless you have Asian pear. And the pear here is so good. But on top of that, if you can see, this is a bit of a slush. So the broth, because it's slushy, it keeps everything cold, including the pear. So when you see the slush, that's what makes everything taste so much better. And this is your mu, or your radish, your pickled radish. These, once again, are so good, so thinly sliced. And then you've got your sauce. Now, if you don't like spicy food, you can ask for it without the sauce or less of the sauce, because this is going to be a little bit spicy. And then you've got your meat broth that makes up the rest of this. And like I said, it comes out in a slush form, which makes it really, really delicious. Also the noodles, plenty of noodles, and I'm gonna cut this up to make it easier to eat, as you do with normal naengmyeon. So let's just give this a slice up. Cut it in half, and we'll cut that into quarters, and that should be plenty. Don't want to cut it up too much, otherwise the noodles get too small and it's not as nice to eat. So then we're just going to mix this up a bit, because the noodles are all stuck together. So because of the broth in here, makes it easy to break apart, and then it's going to be a lot easier to eat. Oh, this is going to be so good. You have no idea how good this is. I'm not even much of a naengmyeon guy. I'm not a big fan of naengmyeon necessarily, but the naengmyeon here, it's just on a different playing field. Having naengmyeon, it's like naengmyeon on steroids when you eat here. Mix up this yeolmu kimchi as well. If you look carefully, you can see that there's a bit of oil in the broth as well. And that's because there's sesame oil in here to give even more flavor to everything that's going on. So you've got the beef pancakes, some cucumber, the yeolmu kimchi, as mentioned, and then you've got a little bit of that sesame oil as well as sesame seeds in here as well. I mean, the amount of flavor that's packed into this bowl of naengmyeon is amazing. Now this is how you eat naengmyeon. How much broth is on that. I mean, the amount of juice and flavor that you get in this. Oh, look at that. You know what's interesting is this isn't even a naengmyeon place. They don't necessarily specialize in naengmyeon. It's actually a Korean barbecue place. And their meats here are actually quite reasonably priced. I've been here several times, I've never ever had anything here other than their naengmyeon. Because, you know, like when you feel like you're gonna go somewhere and you wanna think about trying something else, but then you're scared that you're missing out on what you actually enjoy there the most. Every time I come here, I get their Yookjeon naengmyeon. And they have other naengmyeons as well. They have your normal mul naengmyeon and your bibing naengmyeon. They also have Yookjeon naengmyeon, which is the raw beef naengmyeon. But their Yookjeon naengmyeon is definitely the best. And I know it's a little bit more expensive, 9,500 compared to a normal dish of naengmyeon somewhere else. But paying the extra $2-3 to get this naengmyeon, it is so worth it. I mean, it's not even close. This is easily my favorite naengmyeon in Seoul. Easily. Like, it's not, I can't even tell you what second best is. It's ridiculously better than any other naengmyeon I've ever had. There is a place in Jinju, because, you know, it's called Jinju냉. There's a place in Jinju that specializes in this. That's the first time that I ever had Yookjeon naengmyeon. And when I had that there, I literally was so blown away that I did a search of different places in Seoul that have Yookjeon naengmyeon. And this place came up, I had it here, and it's, I would say, almost as good, if not just as good. I mean, it's pretty close. This is spectacular, and you don't have to drive all the way down to Jinju to get it. So check this out in Seoul. It's close to Hongdae. It's so good. You know naengmyeon's good if it's good to the last drop. So just a few closing thoughts. This is Jeezle. I'll leave the location and a bit of menu items and other stuff in the description below. But you know what's interesting about this place is every time I've come here, it's been empty. But I always come sort of between lunch and dinner. But I'm definitely afraid sometimes that, like, you know, this place is gonna be gone or something, because there's never a lot of people here when I'm here. So definitely check this place out, because like I said, it's the best naengmyeon place that I've ever had in Seoul. And I need you to come here to make sure that I know that these guys are around for a long time, because I don't know what I would ever do without this place. So check this out. It's close to Hongdae. It's called Jeezle. It's actually a Korean barbecue place that has naengmyeon on their menu, but their naengmyeon is just so good. And make sure you get the Jinju naengmyeon. Even if you don't like it spicy, just ask for it without the extra hot sauce, and you can have it, you know, just still with the Yookjeon, which is really what makes it good. And their broth is actually really good as well. But yeah, I mean, this place is so good. You gotta check it out. Anyways, if you like this video, and please do give it a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel so you're up to date the next time I do another review of one of these restaurants and foods. Thanks for watching this to the end.